Well, Coach, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming to visit us. Tell us a little bit about your story to Hardin-Simmons.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So went to McMurray University first.
You don't have to say where you went to school. That's okay. You did. Shoot. All right, go ahead.
Went and did track there for 4 years, and then got a job at a bank. And I liked it, but I still was pretty competitive, so I started competing again. Got rid of that job and needed something else to do kind of in my spare time, so I volunteered at Hardin-Simmons for five years, I believe. And then the opportunity opened up. I got the assistant position, and shortly after, the head position.
What is it that you love about students? Why do you enjoy student athletes?
Speaking in track in general, I think a lot of student athletes don't know what their potential is. And so my favorite thing is pulling it out of them, and especially track. Like, track practice isn't fun. Nothing about running hard every day is fun, but once we get to those track meets when they're rested and they go out and, you know, break their own personal records or even school records, that emotion that they show at that moment is definitely worth all of this.
Well, you have a lot to be proud of, especially with last year. And you want to tell us a little bit about last year's experience?
Yeah. So last year was Hardin-Simmons, men's team's highest track and field ranking. We were ranked number 3 at our highest in the nation. We kept a top 10 ranking for most of the season. For event squad rankings, we were ranked number 1 in the 100, 200, long jump, and high jump all season.
You guys had an awesome year last year.
Sir.
And so many great athletes that you've seen the potential and developed. I just don't want you to develop too well because sometimes other schools want them, and so I want you to keep them around, but you've done a great job. What was it about you and track versus any other sport that you saw yourself fitting in so well?
I think the main thing is the ability to work on yourself. And not saying you couldn't in other sports, but at the end of the day in track, it comes down to what you can do personally, and the saying, champions are made when nobody's in the stands, means a lot in track and field, because there's a lot you can do to get better when nobody's watching. And that resonated well with me in track because that's pretty much how I got to my level, and that's how I recruit. I would bring in people that understand that, you know, just because we have a team practice doesn't mean I can't, you know, change my diet, or I can't hit core right before I go to bed, or hit stretches in the morning. You and I interviewed you a couple years ago, and you'd been around for a long time, and I was very, very impressed by who you were and what you were doing, especially in the middle of, I think, a family member maybe being in the hospital. Yes,
you put on a track meet by yourself.
Yes,
you had some help, but it was on you as assistant coach, I think. You're assistant coach. So I just want to tell you thank you for what you did then, but man, thank you since what you've done, the things that you've done since then. You've done a great job and poured into the students. If there's one thing that you could do every day for the rest of your life though, and it wasn't putting on a track meet, what would you do?
Anything.
Anything in the world?
I have like a little home studio, and I just make music.
Okay, hold on a second. Are you making like mixtapes? What are you doing?
So I do singing, R&B, and a little bit of gospel music sometimes.
Okay, well, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go, Isaac.
Still work in progress.
Are we gonna hear it? Are we gonna see the light of the day someday?
Yes, sir. I've been kind of working up a little compilation to put out.
So you're gonna get me that for Christmas?
Yes, sir.
I can't wait. Well, I've come out to some of your practices. You guys have a great team. They're always have a good attitude, and they all want to challenge me to a sprint or some sort of run. And I just want you to know the answer is always going to be no, because I got a bad knee or something like that. But I'm excited what you guys are going to do next season, because I think you're going to really blow it off. So
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
Thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir.